This is Eclipse, and let's start with object-oriented programming, which is the base of Selenium and stuff. But before that, let me just give you some basic tips about Eclipse. Okay, we'll create a new Java project. Okay, you can also create it from here. File others under Java. You'll see Java project. Okay, I'll call this project as A1. Okay, and this GRE system library which you are seeing over here is nothing but Java which is installed in your machine. Okay, this is the source folder where we'll be storing all the code and all everything. Okay, and I'll just make a new Java file. Java file is known as new class. Okay, I'll make it. Look, to many people, these things will be clear. You must have done these things before, but there are people in this training who haven't done this. So I'm starting from the very basics. And you know what? I will not be teaching you that, first Java, then Selenium. Okay, like first we will learn how to form objects. Okay, and then I'll actually tell you how these objects are used in Selenium. So I'll be teaching you Selenium parallelly. Okay, then we'll study about interfaces, and then I will tell you how interfaces are used, okay, in Selenium. So it's not that I will just take 5 days and teach you Java and then we'll move over to Selenium. That makes no sense at all. So practically we'll go parallelly. I'll teach you Java and I'll tell you how those Java concepts are used in Selenium. Okay. So let me just make a small class known as basics. Keep this checkbox checked. Okay. So this is the class. Hold on. Let me just improve the font size. All right. So this is the public class basics. Okay. What static is, what void and all. These things will get clear to you as we proceed with, uh, you know, the training. All right. Now, um, yeah. Okay. So over here, like in every programming language, you have integers, you have strings. Similarly, Java also has it. The command to print anything is system.out.println. Okay, you type syso and you print something. Okay, you can run the program from this run button on the top. So I'm assuming that you know the basics, what integers are, what strings are. All right. Now, the first thing which I want to tell you is the concept of jar file in Java. Okay, I've made this basics.java file. Okay, if you go to the location of this project on the hard drive, okay, on the hard drive, if you go to the location of this project, that means you right click on the project, you'll get a lot of options. We'll see these options one by one in the training. Okay, you go to the properties option, the last one. You will have lots of things over here. Okay, in the resource, you will see the location where the project is lying on the hard drive. You click on this icon and that location will open up. Day one. So in this day one, there are different folders, source, bin and all, out of which only source folder you can map inside Eclipse. The remaining folders you'll not be able to map. Okay. If you open bin, in the bin folder, you will see a class file. Corresponding to the Java file, you always have a class file. Okay, so corresponding to this basics.java, you have this class file. Now, what is this class file? This class file is like, you know, it's like an exe. Okay, if you open it, you'll not be able to understand anything. Okay, this class file is basically an exe, and um, you'll not be able to comprehend it. Okay, but this is like an executable which can execute on any platform. You take this class file on Windows, on Mac, on Linux, it'll execute. Okay, and when we make a project, okay, when we make a project, we have got many class files. Corresponding to every Java file, you will have a class file. Like if I just make a new class known as print city.java, and inside it, if I just go and print London, and if I run this, it will print London, and you will see that print city.class file has been formed. So for every Java file, you will have a class file. Okay, and when you have many class files and you have to deliver the class files to the client, okay, we put all the class files in a single file. This file is known as jar file. It's just like, the zip functionality we have in Windows, similar to that. Okay, we put all these class files into a jar file and we deliver it to the client. Okay, if you look at this JRE system library, if you expand it, this is nothing, but there are many jar files in it. Each jar file will have lot of class files. So these are inbuilt functionalities which we get with Java. How they are useful? Okay, for example, if I just write over here new date. Now what is new? Just forget about it for some time. Okay, if I just give this command system.out.println new date, and if I run this is going to print the current day, month, time, date, everything. Every time I run this, it will give me the updated value. So this thing over here, I never had to do the hard work. It is inbuilt. It is coming from this date class in Java, which is somewhere inside one of these jar files. It's inbuilt. It's predefined. So these are the JRE system jar files which come along with Java, and they give you a lot of features which are inbuilt. Similarly, in Selenium also, 100% commands are inbuilt. Not a rocket science. To print the current date time, I never had to do any hard work. I just had to use the command. Similarly, all the Selenium commands are inbuilt. If you have to launch a browser, interact with the browser, type something inside it, get the text out of the browser, close the browser, open the browser, everything is inbuilt, all the Selenium commands. The only thing is that you just have to go to the Selenium website. Okay, go to the download section, scroll down, see the Java version, and click on the beta download link. Okay, the jar files will be downloaded onto your PC. Okay, and once they have downloaded, you can extract the jar files. Just hold on. Yeah, they are lying over here in my PC. So the Selenium guys also give you jar files. Each of these jar files.
Hello. I'm not
Yes.
hearing your voice, sir.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, Ashish. Able to hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think people are able to hear me. Just check out your internet connection. Right.
Ashish, one quick
Hello?
thing, Ashish.
Yes.
Um, do we need to separately download this beta version as well, the jar files?
Hello?
Yes, you need to download it from this link.
Yep. Okay.
Beta download. Yeah, are you able to hear me? I think there's someone she
Yeah, you
has
are
in
audible.
Cannot hear your voice.
okay. So this is the Java version and you just have to download it from the beta document download link. Okay. And when you download it, you extract the zip file and you will see all these jars coming up. Okay. And in the lib folder also,
Hello?
you will have just a minute. Let me type it down for her. I'll just type it in the message. Hold on, guys. Just hold on. Rohit, by the end of the training, I'll tell you about the syllabus as well. You'll get it clear out. Okay. I think people are able to hear me. Right. So over here, when you download this, you get these jar files. Okay. And the jar files which you download, you have to import them inside Eclipse in order to work with Selenium. So basically the concept of jar file in Java, okay, is nothing but something which comes with a predefined functionality. Okay, like you have the jar files of basic Java. When you install Java, you get some jar files by default. And one of the classes inside the jar file was the date class, which I used to create a new date and to print the date. Similarly, you have got Selenium jar files. So you need to import those jars inside this project so that you can fire Selenium commands in this project. Okay, so you right click on the project, you go to the properties and you go to Java build path and you click on there are under Java build path, there are different tabs. You go to the libraries tab. Okay, and click on add external jars. All right, you add all these jars you are having except the lib folder. Okay, you first select all these and add them, and then please make sure you also add the jars which are inside the lib folder. Okay, when you do this, you will have a referenced libraries section created in Eclipse in which you will be able to see all the jar files. So once the jar files are included, the Selenium jar files are included, Selenium is enabled in this project. There is no installable for Selenium. There is no exe, nothing. Okay. You have to download and configure Selenium like this, but you cannot use it. You have to first understand OOPS. Okay. Right. Before I jump over to OOPS, there are some few basic things in Eclipse which you should be knowing, and people they get stuck when they actually don't know about those things. For example, at times this is the console output window at bottom, in which, whatever you print in the code, that gets printed over here. At times people close it by mistake, or they close the package explorer by mistake. So in order to bring these things back, you go to the window, show view, console section, and you will see that console will come back. Okay. Or you go to window, show view, package explorer, and you will see that the package explorer will come back over here. All right. Fine. Moreover, at times as a beginner, you would want to debug your programs as well. When you are writing a Selenium script and the script is of say 1000 lines and it's failing somewhere where you are, and it's very difficult for you to comprehend where the script is failing. Okay, because when you work practically, you have got many files, you have got many dependencies. Okay, so you no need to know where the script fails, and you should be knowing how to debug the Java programs. Okay, I'll just make a new class known as say debugging. Okay, and suppose what I do is that I take a variable int I equals to 50 and int j equals to 2, and then I make a for loop, that is for int k equals to 0 and k less than 100 and k plus plus, and then I write a system.out dot. I'm assuming you at least know the for loop and all. Okay, print a k int sum is equal to k plus I, and I write over here int difference or sum into j. Just I'm doing some random things. Okay, no logic over here, and I'll just print the result of the multiplication. Okay, and when you run this, this will print a lot of numbers. Now, if there is something failing in between, or if you want to check out what's happening at every stage in this program, you can run this program line by line in debug mode, which is there in every tool in or every language. Okay, or every automation tool, like you pick up UFT as well, it's also there. You just have to double click in front of this line number 5. You will see a blue mark coming up. Okay, and this is the debug icon on the top. All right, you click on it and you'll get a window like this, confirm perspective switch. You click on switch and you will see that there will be a green line over here. Okay, basically the green line says that right now the execution has stopped on this line. You can run the program line by line. If you hit F6 of the keyboard, it will move to the next line, and on the right side you will see that a variable with the value 50 has been generated. Okay, then now j has been generated with the value 2. So at real times you can see the values of these variables. If I hit F6 over here, so k has started from 0, and now the sum is 50. That is, sum is actually k plus I. K was 0, I was 50, those sum is 50, and the output of multiplication is 100 and it's printed 100. Now the loop again starts. Now you will be able to see k change to 1, and you keep on hitting F6 of the keyboard. You will be able to see the values of the variables in real time, or you can move the mouse over the variables as well, and you can see the values of these variables. Debugging is really important. Without debugging, you cannot learn this tool. Okay, right. When you build projects, okay, like this was one of the data-driven framework done in one of the batches. Okay, so the project itself, it's quite huge. It's got so many Java files that you really get confused at runtime that which one to refer at which point of time when something fails. So in to manage such a big project, you need to understand debugging. All right, or at least know that it can be used so that when you get stuck, you use it. All right. So this was about debugging and basics of Java. Hold on. You click on this icon now. This is the Java or this open perspective icon, and you select the Java default perspective, and you will be coming back to the original screen. Okay, when you are in the debug mode, you have a different, it's known as a perspective. Okay, when you click on debug icon, it will change your perspective and you'll have the debug perspective. And when you have to come back, okay, you can terminate the program from this red button over here or on the top. Okay, and then you can come back to the Java default perspective. All right, fine. Anyone with any questions? Anything? Right. Now, someone was asking me, I think it was Rohit. Yeah. Can you give day by or share the syllabus? Look, it's something earlier I used to share day by day syllabus, but it's pretty tough to explain it that way. Basically, if you talk about the syllabus of the course, the first thing is we will be learning about Java and oops and the different concepts like exception handling, oops, and you have um, file reading, okay, which is very important. Okay, and then we'll be jumping over to Selenium commands. It's not that, as I told you, we will be doing Java and Selenium commands parallelly. Okay, that's why I got the jar files of Selenium downloaded today, so that when I talk about oops, I can start with Selenium commands as well. Okay, this will take up nearly 50% of the course, and in the remaining 50%, we'll be doing a project. Okay, we'll take up a website, automate the test cases and all. Okay, this also involves learning test ng as a tool, which is really important. Right. Now, today was the first day. I just told you about, basics of Java and all. And one more thing I will tell you is to install TestNG. Okay, TestNG is a unit testing framework which will help you build test cases. Okay, like Selenium is a tool. Everybody knows about it. But TestNG is also a separate tool like Selenium. It is used along with Selenium because Selenium will not help you build test cases. Selenium will just help you write commands to interact with the browser. But TestNG helps you build test cases. Okay, so install TestNG inside Eclipse as a plugin. Fine. You just go to the TestNG website. Okay, just go to Google and type TestNG Eclipse and you will get the TestNG website. You go to install the plugin section, this one, and copy this link. Hold on. Install the version 7. This one. Please install the version 7 of TestNG. Okay, this is the most stable version. All right. You don't have to open this link. I was just checking it out. I will give you the link on the chat as well. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to open up Eclipse. In Eclipse, you go to the help menu, install new software. Okay. And you'll get a window like this. Paste this link. You'll get the version 7 TestNG. Click on it. Make sure you have a good internet connection. After pasting this link, hit the enter button of the keyboard. It will fetch TestNG in some time and you click on next, next, next. Maybe you get a small warning or error in between. Just ignore that. Okay. And your Eclipse will restart. And once your Eclipse restarts, that means TestNG has been installed. You can go to Window or Show View Other, and under Java, you will be able to see TestNG. So that means TestNG has been installed. Now what TestNG does is that it helps you to write test cases. Like for example, in this, I will just create a new class known as login test. I am not going to teach you all the TestNG features in the beginning, but at least basic feature to create a one single test case. Okay, so this is just a simple login test. In TestNG, there is no main function like we have the main function in the other Java files we made, right? Okay, in TestNG, we build test cases like this. You write like this @test public void login. So this function, login function, becomes a test case if you put this annotation. This is known as a annotation @test. That means this is my test case. You move the mouse over this error. Okay, you will get the option to add TestNG library in the project. If you don't get this option, that means you have not installed TestNG correctly. Okay, you click on this and you will see TestNG coming up over here. It is nothing, but it has also got its own jar files. All right. So these are the Java jar files. These are the Selenium jar files. And these are the TestNG jar files. The only thing is TestNG is installed inside Eclipse. Okay, but the error hasn't gone. If you move the mouse over the error again and you will see the option to import the test annotation. You click on this, the test will be imported, annotation is imported and the error goes away. Okay, these imports will get clear to you with time. It might look a little weird in the beginning that what did I do by importing this? But there are some things which get normalized with time. This is one of them. Okay. And in the login test, if I just write print login test and you right click on this Java file, you will get the option to run it as a testng test. Okay. And you run it and you will see that it writes over here total test runs are 1, failures are 0, skips are 0. Okay. And login test is printed. So inside this test case, we will actually go and write our Selenium scripts. The Selenium scripts or the commands are written over here. Because Selenium never gives you the options to, create a test and give you output like this. It's got simple commands. Okay, right. So there are lots of other features in TestNG which I'm not going to teach you in the very beginning. We will be doing them after we learn Selenium. But how to basically install TestNG and create a simple test case. At least you do this so that whatever coding we do in this training, we'll do inside TestNG test cases. Okay. So now, okay, there's some. You will also be covering Cucumber. Look, that is the thing. I can cover Cucumber, but believe me, as a beginner, you will not be able to understand it. Okay, in whichever batch I have taken up Cucumber, it has given lots of issues to people. Look, I'll take some time and explain you what happens. There are different frameworks in Selenium. There is data-driven framework, there is hybrid framework, there is page object model, there is Cucumber. Most of you must have heard about these things. If a client comes to you and tells you that fine, I have to automate the whole project and it's got 1000 test cases. These are the different strategies which you can apply to automate those test cases. But in order to learn them, you first have to learn data driven. You go by my opinion. Okay, because data, it's like something like if you want to if you want to learn how to drive a motorbike, okay, you first have to understand how to drive a bicycle and maintain a balance, right? And then you can sit on the motorbike and you'll obviously you'll pick it up very fast. Okay, so this is the thing. Generally, people coming to this training, they have the expectations that I want to learn Cucumber, I want to learn page object model or hybrid. I can teach any, I cannot teach all of them in this training because each of them takes nearly 8 hours or 10 hours to explain in depth. Okay, but yes, if you want to do Cucumber directly, I can also teach you that, but for that, you have to understand one thing that things will not be very easy for you. Okay, right? Each of these frameworks to teach only it takes 8 hours. So that's why we give pre-recorded sessions, 8 to 10 hours minimum. We give pre-recorded sessions along with this training. In those pre-recorded sessions, we have defined all the types of frameworks. Okay, in the training, I take one type of framework. It's better to take one type and explain it in a better way rather than explaining all of them. That will make no sense. Right. Anyone with any other question? Anything? Anything? Please let me know. Right. Yeah. I have recorded this session. I'll stop the recording as well. You will get